Hey guys, Michelle from Michelle's Craft Corner here, and today I'm going to show you how to make this fun fold Valentine's Day card. Let's get started. Alright, so this is the close-up of the card we're going to be making today. This is a fun fold Valentine's Day card. I mean, look how fun that is. So it's like that, folds in. You could write on the back or do another piece on the back, but I kind of currently have it blank. But yeah, isn't that so fun? So this was made using the Endless Love stamp set and coordinating dies as well. Perfect for Valentine's Day. All right, now I can't claim a full original credit for this. I actually got this fun fold design from another demonstrator, the Crafty Chemist. Hopefully, I don't know how well that's going to show up. So you can check out her stuff at the Crafty Chemist. But I did a screenshot of her measurements. We'll get to that in a minute. And that's how I got the fun fold part. So for this, besides, of course, our stamp set, we're also going to be using a bunch of fun papers. First off, this really awesome Made with Love 12 by 12 designer series paper. It's got all kinds of beautiful, just like hearts and reds and pinks. So pretty much any sheet you use in here is going to work really good with this particular project. There you go. We can see those okay. That plastic's in the way there. Anyway, so really nice Valentine's hearts set. Okay. So besides the design series paper, because this does take a rather large piece, it's an 8 by 12, and our standard design series paper, or standard cardstock is 8.5 by 11. I had to pull out the big DSP, and so I actually used the Love Story 12 by 12 design series paper, which is also in these beautiful, oh, that's showing up, pink shades as well. My lighting's not the best in here right now, so I don't know if that's coming up true to color, but anyway, really good, coordinates perfectly with all of this. So we've got our base, we've got our designer series paper, and then for this particular one, I did some real red. You could also do Poppy Parade as well. That's the ink color that I grabbed. But yeah, as I said, you can kind of change that out for other reds. And then I also did the gold foil and the double-sided adhesive paper to make it stick. So, and then of course you need your glue. Oh, and white. Yeah, I think that's all our basics pretty covered. And you are going to definitely need your trimmer and a bone folder for this. So first off, let's go through our base, which yet again cut from 12 by 12. So your base is going to be at 8 by 12. So just a big piece at 8 by 12. Let me move him over out of the way. Move those. Okay. So 8 by 12. Okay. And following this here, following our handy dandy little guide. Thank you, Crafty Chemist. So we're cutting it 8 by 12. And then we're scoring it at 2, 4, skipping 6, but we're doing 8 and 10. And I'm hoping that shows up okay on the camera, but 2, 4, 8, and 10 going the long way. Now, what I did when I scored mine is when I got to the 6, I just did a little pencil mark that really helped with lining up those diagonals. So score across, do a little pencil mark so you know where the middle is. Okay. Then after you've gotten those scored, we're gonna flip it, we're gonna turn it around, and we're gonna go right in the middle at 4. So at 4 is where we're gonna cut. So what's easy to do, and I don't have my trimmer at hand, but if you line it up in the trimmer, you can line it up to where your trimmer cuts just at that score mark. And doesn't go past. But if you're a little nervous, you can always kind of hit it with your scissors if you're worried, or you can start in the middle and kind of go back and forth. So scores and then cuts in the middle. Now for the diagonals, which is a little tricky. So you have, at this point, your scores across, you have your pencil mark, which actually having a pencil mark on both ends is a little more helpful. So have your pencil mark on both ends. But you also have your marks here. So you're going to use those as guides. I'm going to score point to point across here. Let's see if I can, something dark to show that. Hold on. Okay. Not quite, oh, here we go. I have a ruler. Okay, so, all right, point to point across. So you're not scoring on the outer flap, but you're just scoring on the middle three sections. So point to point across, then other point to point across. All right, and then you're gonna do one up here from the top to the middle. Okay, and then you're basically gonna do a square around. So from this point to the bottom, and then one from here, this point to the bottom. So you're kind of doing a big scored square all the way around, and then a big X. So X and a square. And once you get all that cut, you're gonna have this fun shape. So before we get into folding this, let me run through the measurements for the other pieces real quick, and then we will get back to folding this fun guy. So as you can see, let me pull up my example here. So I've got a lot of parts and pieces with this guy. So let's just run through those real quick. So first off, we've got our side panel pieces. These are two kind of long strips, okay? So got our designer series paper piece. Is that in frame? Yeah, okay. 1.5 by 7.5 inches. And then we've got our border for that at, well, that is also out of frame. Let me scoot that up. Okay, here you go. Okay. Okay, so these are for the sides. You're gonna need two, so one for each side. 1.5, 7.5, 1 3/4, 7 3/4, and this is just for those borders, okay? Then for our middle, you're gonna need one more piece that is the matching color of your card base. So this is just that blue. Let's scoot. Trying to make this so it's all in frame for you guys as I go. Okay, so this is another square for the center, and this is 2 3/4 by 7 3/4. Then you're also gonna need 3 squares. You kind of want them to match your border edge so it coordinates. And these are at 2.5 by 2.5, so little perfect squares for the middle of our sections there. And then you're gonna need one that is a 2 by 2 for your very middle. And then you're also gonna need another 3 that's the decorative at 2 1/4 by 2 1/4, and that actually is gonna go in between these. So one of this, 3 of these, 3 of these, 1 of this, 2 of these, and 2 of these. So I'll give you guys a second. Hopefully, if you need to, you can screen grab that. I know it looks like a lot, but it's kind of, for me, a little easier to have everything cut and prepped and then just assemble in a minute. So hopefully you guys had a chance to grab those. So I'm gonna move those off out of the way here. Oh no, there we go. Boop, boop, boop. All right. So now you have all of your pieces cut. The other thing that you are gonna wanna prep ahead of time as well, which I have right here in a bag, is you are gonna wanna go ahead and pre-cut your little gold decorative pieces. Now these dies are just so fun. Now I did the adhesive back paper, mainly for the reason because anything that's really like thin like this can be very tedious to glue. I mean, you can do it, but it just can be tedious, especially for classes. What's nice about the adhesive paper is it basically turns it into a giant sticker. So you take your gold paper, you stick it on that, you run it through your machine, and then you peel off the back. So really, really handy, especially for like tedious pieces. So I went ahead and pre-cut those. If you don't have the adhesive paper, you can just cut them out in gold just like normal and just use your adhesive of choice. All right, so I'll move those for now. All right. Okay, so now we're going to fold this guy. So you're definitely gonna want your bone folder because it's a lot of folding. All right, so as you can see, he's kind of folding like that. So now I gotta remember how all I did this. So let's start with our sides. I made this card a while ago, so now I have to remember how all I did it. Okay. The nice thing about fun folds, especially if they're just going back and forth, is it's kind of forgiving. All right, so we're gonna go corner across here. Oops, let's pull that back down. Okay. Now, especially for those points, you do want to be sure you get the middle part creased pretty good. It'll make your life easier later. All right, so there's that one. Okay. If I get a chance, I may try to speed this part up a little later. Okay, so now once you have all of your pieces kind of generally folded, we're gonna kind of go through and get our basic shape down. Now, if you only folded it, if we folded it the wrong way, it'll all kind of work out here in a second. So we're gonna start with our kind of top two triangles, and we're gonna kind of push them down a little bit like that. Okay, that. Okay. And we're gonna fold our two panel pieces kind of in a little bit so you can kind of see that that top part a little bit. See how it went like that? Okay. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing for these two triangles. We're gonna push those in, just like that. Push this one in. Come on, you. Go. So you can kind of pinch it if that's easier. So like that. And if you pinch at the corners, it'll stay down a little better, okay? We're gonna do this one down. Come on. There's probably a better way to do this and faster, but I'm trying to go slow so you can kind of see what I'm doing. I think I'm flipping it upside down. That's not helpful. Okay, there we go. So you can kind of see you're just kind of folding those top and bottom triangles in. And it takes a little finesse, but you can't really mess it up too bad. Watch me now mess it up. Okay, so anyway, kind of like that. All right. Ta-da, look there. So once you get it to this point, after you push those corners down and such, I recommend taking your bone folder and giving those edges a nice press, just so it stays like it's supposed to. It's still gonna wanna pop up a little bit at first. Okay. There we go. All right, so you can kind of see we've got our basic shape. Turned out pretty good. Okay, so we've got that done. Now we just get to do our stamping and add our piece. So let's go ahead and do our stamp real quick. Quick and easy over here. This is just the love, which of course, if you want to do something else from the stamp set, a lot of stuff would fit. But yeah, we're just gonna go at a diagonal like that, and then the love will fit. Immediately get ink on my fingers. There we go. that piece stamped, and we're gonna just start assembling all of our different components. So let's do our side panels first. So those measurements one more time. Grab my glue out of my stampy box here. And of course the other side is pretty too, but I like the hearts. Okay, got those. All right, move that out of the way. Okay, so remember we had this one piece that was to match our card base. So this is our bonus little triangle, or there you go, diamond, I guess is more accurate, diamond that's gonna go in the middle. So we're gonna decorate all 3 of these diamonds at the same time, but this is the one that's gonna have our sentiment because it's the middle one. So let's grab these pieces. So we've got our red, yet again, 2.5 by 2.5, and our little DSP pieces. Okay. So we're just gonna go red, and then designer series paper, just like that. We're going to take our pieces and just stick those on. So all kind of start coming together here. Second to dry while I do the side pieces. Now for this middle one, because we have the sides kind of sticking out, you don't want to do glue on all the corners. You just want to hit the top and the bottom because that's what's sitting on here. You don't want floating glue. So we're just going to do a little bit on the top, a little bit on the bottom. Kind of pay attention to the angles on that one. And I'm going to close this one flat so I have it where I want it. Just like that. A little easier. Hold it for a second. All right, I'm gonna grab my pieces and have these ready. And since I already have that adhesive, these are just gonna be kind of peel and stick. There we go. So I did 2 of the like open heart with that, kind of alternating. And then I kind of liked the idea of having the arrow kind of shooting through. Oh, there's a long one and a short one. So we go, the long one shooting through like that. So that hole is just perfect. So let's go ahead and peel and stick these. See, just like a sticker. Press, there we go, okay. And then we get our big arrow, that. I think I had, oh, well, I had it going the other way. All right, well, this one can go down and the other one can go up. There we go. Okay, and there's one more little X. I don't see it. Oh, he's still in the bag. They're so cute. The O's have little hearts. I don't know if you saw that. There you go. Just like that, you have a fun pop-up Valentine's Day card that is sure to bring smiles. I will say this is, because it is a non-standard size, you will have to do a non-standard envelope. It will not fit in A2, but it's definitely going to bring some smiles. So thanks guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and happy crafting everybody. Until next time, bye.